It's 4:30 and this is WKYT This Morning. Rescue crews are searching a southern Kentucky river for a man who went missing after his canoe capsized. We'll be hearing from rescue crews just ahead this morning.
After recent violence, members of a Lexington community say they are fed up. We'll hear from one person who says he fears for his family's life. Coming up.
And police say they plan to question the parents of a young child who fell into that gorilla exhibit at the Cincinnati Zoo over the weekend. The update on that story is just ahead on WKYT This Morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you and welcome. It's good to have you on WKYT on the first day of June, Wednesday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. When I heard that out loud this morning, June 1st, I just couldn't believe it's that time of year already.
It is. It's also Statehood Day in the Commonwealth.
Okay.
Talk about that a little bit later on, the anniversary of the founding of our Commonwealth. And let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. Some changes on the way in our weather.
Yeah, big changes. We're actually going to drop those temperatures, and when you drop the temperatures, there's only one way to do it. Bring in a front, and that passes on through, bringing in showers and thunderstorms. Live sky camera. It's a good look this morning. Nothing really going on early this morning. No rain in the forecast right now, but that will change later on. Temperatures are in the 60s, kind of the same feel as what we went through yesterday. 87 degrees by the afternoon with those rumbles in the forecast. Now, it's not a great chance today, but it looks like those chances do pick up as we slide off towards your weekend, and I'm going to talk all about that coming up.
And we'll see you shortly. Thank you. Let's get to the news.
Rescue crews are searching for a southern Kentucky man who disappeared when his canoe capsized in a river. Investigators
say the man was in the boat with his son when it flipped last night in the Rockcastle River along the Laurel-Rockcastle County line. The man's son made it to safety. Garrett Weimer has the latest on the search.
The plan was for crews to search as long as they could, then come back in the daylight if they need to. Emergency management officials say they got the call around 6 o'clock. They say a man was canoeing with his 70-year-old father when they hit a tree and their boat capsized. The man told crews he never saw his father resurface. We're told the man walked several miles here to get help. Since then, rescue crews have been searching the river from both sides. Problem is, the boat capsized several miles away and crews had trouble getting there because of rough waters.
We've got the Laurel County EMS and Rescue Squad. They're upriver in a Zodiac and trying to access where the canoe flipped over at. My understanding is there's some rough water and they're trying to get another access to get closer. They actually put in at the I-75 bridges. We're canoeing, going camp the night, then take out tomorrow.
The son was out here giving reports to investigators from Fish and Wildlife. We're told he walked for hours to get help. He did not want to speak to reporters. At the Rockcastle Laurel County line, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Garrett, thank you. The Laurel County Emergency Management Director says the missing man is from the Eubank community.
People living in a Lexington neighborhood say they're fed up and demanding change. They say there's too much crime in Cardinal Valley, and they want the community to do something about it. Monday, a man died after police say someone shot him in a parking lot near Village and Cambridge Drives. An Urban County Council member says she's looking for ways to stop the violence. WKYT's Monique Blair has the story.
It's hard. It's hard out here.
I met LB Tuesday afternoon in the Cardinal Valley neighborhood while he was in the park playing with his son, a park that he says he would never bring his son to after dark because it's just too dangerous. Just yards from where the park sits, a man was found shot early Monday morning. He later died at the hospital.
People not even surprised somebody get killed. They say stuff like, well, I knew it was going to happen over that way sooner or later.
Urban County Councilwoman Peggy Hinton told me today she repeatedly gets calls from people who live in Cardinal Valley saying they fear for their safety.
We're in a world of turmoil, and if we don't start within, we shouldn't be worried about what's happening out in the world because, you don't have this together. It's a war itself. Waking up every day, fending for your family.
Councilwoman Hinton says their concerns are not being ignored. For starters, she wants to work with the apartment complexes in the neighborhood.
Councilwoman Henson says one effort to reduce crime in high crime areas such as Cardinal Valley is to teach property managers to put more scrutiny on the application process.
LB says first, though, it will take the people who live here to want to make changes before changes can truly happen.
I don't think that people will complain about being able to pull up in their driveway and be all right getting out the car going in the house. I don't think they're going to complain about that.
In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Councilwoman Henson says there is an officer who is assigned specifically to patrol the Cardinal Valley neighborhood. She also says she is working to bring in more activities for children there. Now, police have not made any arrests in Monday's shooting.
A busy Pulaski County intersection has reopened after a 4-vehicle crash closed it for hours. It happened late yesterday afternoon at the intersection of Highways 914 and 1247 near Somerset. Police say a box truck rear-ended a tractor trailer that sparked a chain reaction crash that also involved a garbage truck and a minivan. They say one person was airlifted to a hospital and the 2 others were taken there by a ground ambulance. We do not know their conditions right now. The intersection reopened around 7 last evening. We now know the name of the 17-year-old Laurel County girl who died when the ATV she was riding crashed. Investigators say Cheyenne Bowles later died at a hospital after the crash Monday night on South Old Whitley Road. They say another 17-year-old who was driving the ATV was injured but was later released from the hospital.
The ATV was going down a hill and came into a left-hand curve, couldn't make the left-hand curve, traveled over about a 15-foot embankment.
Friends say Cheyenne owned the ATV. They say recently she had talked about the brakes on the vehicle not working properly. Friends say she would have been a senior at South Laurel High School in the fall.
We're learning more about a shooting that injured 2 women in Knox County. Police say 38-year-old Brian Bunch shot the women Monday night at a home on Bailey Hollow Connector Road. Police later arrested him and charged him with attempted murder. At last check, both women were in critical condition at the University of Tennessee Hospital. A family member of one of the victims says she's shocked by what happened.
She actually has 3 young children. She didn't deserve it, no, by no means.
Police say they still aren't sure what led to the shooting. Bunch declined to talk to us from jail. Police say they plan to question the parents of a young child who fell into a gorilla exhibit at the Cincinnati Zoo over the weekend.
Zookeeper shot and killed a gorilla that pulled that child through some water, and they say they did it for the child's safety. Jamie Yukas has the update.
Cincinnati police are now investigating the parents of the 3-year-old boy who fell into the Cincinnati Zoo's gorilla exhibit Saturday. Police want to know what they were doing before the boy tumbled into the gorilla habitat.
We, as visitors, have a responsibility to be paying attention, keeping tab on members of our family, not being distracted by technology.
The boy made his way past a 3-foot-high fence and through an additional 4 feet of plants and shrubs before dropping 15 feet into the gorilla habitat. Fearing for the child's life, zookeepers shot and killed the 400-pound gorilla named Harambe. The zoo stands by its decision. It also is defending the child's parents.
I'm not a big finger pointer.
Critics are questioning why the zoo didn't use a tranquilizer dart to spare the gorilla's life. Animal expert Jack Hanna says zookeepers did the right thing.
I'd bet my life, that that child would not have been here today. I guarantee you. With how I know that gorilla already acted, because I saw his face, I saw how he acted.
The boy was treated at a local hospital and released. A federal inspection of the gorilla habitat in April did not find any violations. The exhibit reopens on Saturday. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, Cincinnati.
And police say they are not investigating the operations or safety of the zoo. CBS News has learned that the mother of the boy has received death threats.
Governor Matt Bevin and Attorney General Andy Beshear are attacking each other over Kentucky's decision to join a lawsuit over a federal directive concerning bathrooms. Last week, 11 states sued the federal government over that directive, which says schools should allow transgender students to use the bathroom they identify with. In most of the states, attorney generals made the decision to join the lawsuit. Kentucky was not part of the lawsuit initially, but Governor Bevin announced 2 days later the state would join it. He said Attorney General Beshear refused to join, but Beshear claims the governor never talked to him about it.
Ours was a state where our Attorney General is busy with a lot of lawsuits, but they seem to be focused on a different front. He's got his reasons for that. It's a little sad. It's kind of a waste of what the purpose of the job is.
At no point did the governor ever consult with us, email us, or ask us for a meeting. And so claiming that I refused to do something he never asked me to do and was reviewing is entirely and totally false.
Beshear also claims that his office was in the process of reviewing the lawsuit when the governor made the decision to have the state join it.
WKYT this morning just getting started. It's 4:40 now, 20 before 5. Good to have you with us here on Wednesday morning, June 1.
It's another controversial subject, but the latest research may close the book on spanking once and for all. That's coming up in today's Mom's Everyday Minute.
We're in the 60s this morning. We look toward the 80s again this afternoon, but the potential is there for some thunderstorms as we travel through your next few days. We'll talk all about that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Looking across the region, seeing absolutely nothing going on. Not in our viewing area. We do have one shower down toward Clinton County. That's far southern Kentucky. And it's trying to make its way northbound. Next in line will be Wayne County. So just heads up if you're sitting there in Monticello right across that Highway 90 and also Highway 90 and 92 corridor right there in Monticello. That's heading your direction in Albany at this moment, right across 127. But other than that, we are dry. Temperatures there in the 60s. We're at 63 degrees there in London, and that goes for Richmond too. Danville coming in at 61 degrees. And so as you're walking, heading out and about, walking out the door, things aren't looking all that bad. It's a pretty good start to the day. All in all, this is just like what you started off with yesterday. Just a few more clouds out there. But like I said, the rain chances actually come later on. You will get a slight chance of rain through your morning hours, but it's really afternoon off into the evening hours we start to see a couple of rumbles of thunder move on in. Remember, this is no washout. It's not a lot of rain in terms of widespread. Get some heavy downpours out of this. But afternoon, I'd give it more of a 30 to 40% chance of rain. Once we head off into the evening and night, that's a different story. I'd say more like a 40 to 60% chance of rain. So it does increase the deeper we go into the evening and off into the night. Much cooler pattern. Big ridge back toward the west. And what that's going to do is that's going to continue to push this system, push this trough toward us, and a lot of dip in that jet stream allows that cooler air to filter on in. And that would give us pretty mild temperatures as we head towards your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even off into next week. I mean, you're talking about a nice shot. Not only cooler air, but also some much nicer feeling air, so that the humidity will be decreasing as well as we travel off towards your weekend. Your 7-day forecast. Here is your look, okay? It's today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. Looks like pretty decent chances of rain. Not great chances, but decent chances. So it's one of those things you better have some backup plans just in case. I got the U.S. 25 yard sale going on as we head off towards your weekend. So it's just going to be a pretty active weekend in store for a lot of us as we have all these events planned. So just keep that in mind, guys. You might have to bypass a couple of these rumbles of thunder as we travel off towards your weekend. None of these days are washouts, but you know, you get under one of these tropical downpours and you'll get a lot of rain out of it.
Saturday looks like maybe the toughest, huh?
That's what it looks like right now.
All right. We'll keep watch. Thank you, Mike. The time is 4:46. Still think spanking is an effective form of punishment? Some research out there apparently suggesting otherwise.
Spanking may achieve results opposite of what parents really want, according to the study. Here's more in today's Mom's Everyday Minute.
Hello, I'm Katie Kunkel. Spanking as discipline. It's a controversial subject, but there's some new research that may close the book on it for good. According to analysis of 50 years of research, the more children are spanked, the more likely they are to defy their parents and to experience increased antisocial behavior, aggression, mental health problems, and cognitive difficulties. This is from researchers at the University of Texas at Austin and the University of Michigan. 160,000 people were involved in the study, which is the most complete analysis to date on the outcomes of spanking. Well-meaning parents who spank their children are hoping for better behavior, but the research shows that it actually does the opposite of what parents usually want it to do. Alternative approaches to discipline include positive reinforcement, family negotiation, and age-appropriate consequences. For more important information, visit momseveryday.com.
For
For these tips and more, just go to WKYT.com and click on Moms Every Day.
It's now 4:47 on WKYT this morning as we're rolling toward the 5 o'clock hour. It's good to have you with us on your Wednesday.
General Mills has issued a recall on its flour because of concerns over E. coli. What you need to know about that recall when we come back on WKYT This Morning. Welcome back to WKYT This Morning. Your time is 4:50. The Kentucky Attorney General's office filed a lawsuit against the Scott County Cemetery and its owner.
Attorney General Andy Beshear says Crestlawn Cemetery took thousands of dollars from customers for grave markers but did not install them. He also said the owner, Dale Shackelford, violated Kentucky's Consumer Protection Act by not maintaining the cemetery. People with loved ones buried there say they have been waiting a year for the grave markers.
It's 2016 and we've still yet to see that marker placed. We have a piece of paper with tape on top of the marker in order to know where he's at.
The Scott County Sheriff's Office and the Commonwealth's attorney are also looking into possible criminal charges in the case. Shackelford has owned Crestlawn Cemetery since 2014.
General Mills has announced that it's recalling around 10 million pounds of flour. The company says the flour has possibly been linked to an E. coli outbreak in 20 states. The recall covers multiple varieties of flour, including Gold Medal and Signature Kitchens. General Mills says E. coli has not been found in any of its flour products, but the recall is out of caution. Investigators say half of the people who got sick used flour before feeling ill. We have more information about the recall on WKYT.com.
Well, police are trying to find the burglars who broke into a couple of Lexington businesses. They say Missy's Pies and the Black Market in Chevy Chase were both broken into overnight yesterday. We were reporting that on yesterday's morning news. At Missy's, they say the burglars didn't get much, but because of the break-in, the store couldn't sell more than 100 pies that had already been made. Investigators say cash was stolen from the Black Market. The store's owner says she won't let this burglary stop her work.
Nope, I'm moving on. I'm not going to let it affect me.
The Black Market reopened late yesterday morning, but Missy's stayed closed yesterday. Owners plan to reopen there today. Police have not made any arrests.
The search continues for a missing Western Kentucky pilot who disappeared days ago. Police say 70-year-old Robert Dizelle Jr. left the Grayson County Airport in his small plane Monday to fly to Owensboro, but he never made it back. Police say cell phone activity last showed him within 5 miles of the Falls of Rough Airport. The Civil Air Patrol and Kentucky Fish and Wildlife have been searching for the missing plane, but have yet to find it. New this morning, a Nicholasville business is raising money for the family of a man who died in a crash. 30-year-old Jeremy Hampton died last Thursday when police say his car crossed into oncoming traffic on US 27, hitting an SUV. In a Facebook post yesterday, Gearheads Automotive Repair on Howard Street says $10 from every oil change at their business through the end of, you'll get $10 off through the end of June, and it'll be donated to Hampton's family. Friends say Hampton left behind a wife and 2 children.
A longtime Jessamine County store will soon be going out of business. According to our news partners at the Herald Leader, Carpenter's Dish Barn on US 27 is planning to close on July 1st. Owners tell the newspaper they are shutting down because the store is in the way of planned redevelopment of the Nicholasville bypass. The Dish Barn has been in business for 60 years.
I know, I was shocked when I heard that news. No,
yeah, I know. It's really a staple.
Yeah,
It's been around. Used to run a lot of TV and so forth. Time this morning is coming up on 4:54. And coming next, to look at some of the stories we're working on this morning.
We'll also have another look at your morning forecast. It's coming up next.
Good morning. The time is 4:57. Hey, we're glad you're with us here on this Wednesday morning on WKYT, getting set for the day ahead.
Yeah, I hope you're having a great day so far. It's time to take a look at some of the stories we're working on this morning.
Rescue crews are beginning to search the southern Kentucky River for a man whose boat capsized. We'll have more on their efforts, which will intensify at dawn this morning. Just ahead on WKYT, a 70-year-old man missing. They hit a tree. The canoe went over. The younger gentleman's okay, apparently, who says he didn't see his father resurface. Sad story. We're going to keep you apprised of weather the next few days. We're looking for changes.
Big changes, yeah. 87 degrees later on this afternoon with a couple of rumbles of thunder. But the rain chances pick up as we head throughout your work week. We'll talk all about that in another 2 hours of WKYT News. We'll see you in a minute.